This competitive first-person shooter is very underrated and honestly deserves a comeback and a second chance in having a thriving community because the gameplay and the fundamentals of it is pretty damn good. And the game I'm talking about is Spectre Divide. Some people might not have heard of it and some people may have heard of it as Shroud's FPS game, but it's really far from that. The Shroud's FPS opinion comes from him investing and giving like feedback and trying to help them produce a really fundamentally mechanical, amazing FPS game essentially. Obviously he didn't have like huge fucking input into the process of making the game, but he did invest into it. So that's kind of where the term comes from. And he also advertised it and whatnot, and then he just gave up on it like a week after and just fucking binned the whole thing, which is pretty funny, but you know, I think that hurt the reputation of the game a bit more as well. Spectre Divide is currently sitting at a 238 player peak in 24 hours, which isn't too bad, but it's not looking good at all. However, Season 1 is going to be launching in a couple of days, and I'm very excited for it because they're bringing in a whole lot of new changes, a new map, new battle pass, new character, well not character, like team select, where they use different abilities and whatnot, and a whole lot of free cosmetics as well, which you can see here. They'll bring out a free melee weapon. If you didn't know, melee weapons like Valorant and CSGO, we have a knife, and there'll be free outfits, Twitch drops, and they'll also be hosting an Optic Xbox tournament. I don't really care too much about the Optic X tournament, but that's going to bring in viewers and that's going to bring in some more eyes to the game, which is really, really good. But I want to talk about why Spectre Divide is a good game. But before I do that, I want to set up why it failed. The reason why it failed is because when it got launched, it had a really shaky launch with a lot of server instabilities, a lot of server issues, and the game didn't feel just fluid. And obviously with time, they fixed that and they worked on it and everything became good. But because I had a shaky launch, it kind of pushed away players, and then boom, surprise motherfucker, Deadlock launched. Well, not launched, it went into its like invite your mates to alpha or something. So when Spectre Divide launched, Deadlock launched a couple of days after, and then everyone just went and played Deadlock and just completely forgot about Spectre Divide. Same with all the big streamers. So Shroud and Summit 1G were supposed to be kind of advertising this because Shroud, like I said, is invested in this company and this game, but they all just went and played Deadlock, and then Shroud was just kind of BMing it a little bit. I mean, he's honestly entitled to his opinion. If he didn't think it was good, it's not good, you know? But he's like, oh, the game's shit, I'm not going to play it. And it's like, you put your money into it, but it did get better, but he just never went back to it, which, I mean, he's his own man, he gets to do what he wants, so it doesn't matter to me. But that kind of helped the decline of the game as well. Well, I mean, not helped it, but it increased the decline because people was like, oh, Shroud's invested in this game, and he gave them feedback and helped them develop the game, but he doesn't want to play it, so it must be better. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to waste my time on it. And that led to more of the downfall. Like, another issue apart from the servers on launch was their bundle pricing, which was diabolical. So this game has 26,000 peak players, right? And from that, they were like, we're going to look at the competition. We're going to look at Counter-Strike, Valorant, because these are the kind of games that they're competing with, because there's a competitive first-person shooter. The idea is really cool, which I'll talk about later, but they're like, all right, we're going to copy the Valorant system, the Valorant bundle system. So they copy it, they get like a bundle, you get a knife, and it costs out to be $90 per bundle. And I still do not agree with Valorant's pricing. I think it's way overpriced for cosmetics that you can't resell. I guess me being a CS fanboy, being able to resell skins that you buy or unbox is fucking 10 out of 10. But in Valorant, you can't resell that. So like having a $90 like paywall for the skins is fucking incredible. But people just throw it out there because the skins look good and they want to spend money on it. And I mean, power to the people that you want to spend that money on. I've spent money. I've gone down that trap as well. And at the times now, I'm just like, $90 for that? You could buy fucking 8 large Zinger boxes with that money, mate. Incredible. But they incorporated the Valorant pricing into this game. So it's $90 for a bundle. And this game has one 5,000th of a Valorant player base. Like, it only peaked its 26,000 players. So maybe 1/10,000th of the reoccurring Valorant player base. And that pushed people away. They're like, what the fuck? hardly like 26,000 peaked, and then on the following week it went down to like 1,000. I mean, the following month it went down to 1,000. So it's like, you expect me to pay $90. I know it's a free-to-play game, and you're allowed to put the prices of whatever you want to maintain the studio and to keep developing the game. Because you need, a free-to-play game needs to have a reoccurring, or then you have income. They need people to be buying and purchasing their shit to keep the company afloat, to keep developing and making the game better. But $90 on launch just pushed so many people away. They did, however, recorrect it. They decreased the price, I think, by like 30-ish%, which I still don't think it's enough. I think they should incorporate kind of like a Warzone deal, 20 bucks, 30 bucks max, if it's like a knife bundle or something. But that pricing for a player base this small just made no sense, and it just felt like it was a fucking cash grab. They were just trying to milk you. But the developers and stuff like that obviously are not like that, because they've gone back on it, and then they're launching a bunch of free new skins and the battle pass and all that kind of stuff to get more players back in. But they did fix their original issue on the pricing, which was good, but by the time they fixed it, it was a bit too late. The damage is already done. Server issues, the microtransaction pricing just kind of fucking killed the hype, and then Deadlock was like the nail in the coffin. People still do play it, people still create content on it, but it's a very, very small niche community. There's a lot of people in Discord that still like to play it daily, and they still love it because the game fundamentally is very good. I like the gunplay, I like the movement, and it's a fresh idea that no one else has really incorporated, is having the clones. So technically you have 2 lives in a round, but you can make so many different types of plays and unique styles of play in this game compared to other competitors in the market like Valorant and Counter-Strike. And that's why I enjoyed playing it. However, I, being an Australian gamer, struggles to find games in this game due to its low population. And they didn't have server mixing as well. So that means I can't play against Asian players in Asia servers, which is usually what happens in basically every game. If there's no Australian servers popping, it just migrates you to Asian servers, which usually is quite populated, so you don't really miss out. But you obviously have to play at 150 ping, which is ass, especially in FPS games. But if you enjoy the game, you just do it regardless. So that's what I was hoping to do, but they've like server locked, like the regions have been server locked, which you can't fucking bypass. So I don't know if they've fixed that, but hopefully with the hype around Season 1, which I'm hyped about, it would increase the players so we can get competitive queues up and going. Because the only time I could ever play this game was just like the unrated normal one, because the competitive mode was never popping because there's not enough players to put into the competitive pool. On the topic of gameplay mechanics, some people said it doesn't feel too smooth. Maybe at the start of the original, when it launched, it was a bit more rigged, but now it feels a lot more smoother. The gunplay feels really nice. Like, it feels like I'm playing, if you ever played X-Defiant, Call of Duty games, when you aim in scope and that, it kind of feels nice and fluid like that. The movement's nice. It reminds me of Counter-Strike. I think they've improved on everything. Audio, the visual, everything's nice. I like the art style. Some people don't like it, but I like it. It reminds me of kind of like the Borderlands themes artwork. So I kind of like that. I like the customization as well, but obviously the more customization pushes you into buying different kind of skins and stuff like that as well. You can make your own, but obviously the better ones are behind the paywall of microtransactions. But free-to-play games need to have this kind of, you know, buy these cosmetics to make your character look cool, because they need the money to stay afloat. I want to show you the Season 1 trailer, which will be launching in 2 days. So if you haven't never played this game before, this is probably the ideal time to play it, because if Season 1 does not replenish players and bring more people in it, this game will die. At the start, you can see like the new movement, new combat, new gunplay, and new economy. Another one was people didn't like how the economy was managed and the way that you buy guns, because it's the clone system. They have improved on that and made it a lot easier and I guess more thought out a process compared to launch. They've updated weapons, improved maps, and they've also added a new map as well. Improved matchmaking, this is what I'm talking about. Hopefully they've improved the server region locks. Also, it's launching on console now, so maybe there'll be cross-play as well, which will hopefully boost the player base and allow people to queue more competitives, and the player base just keep moving upwards, hopefully, but you never know. I've never encountered any cheaters in this game either, so I don't know. They said improved anti-cheat, so That's always good. That's always good. But I guess the player base has been so low that no one really wants to fucking cheat on it. So, yeah. Ooh. This is the new sponsor, which is like the new class abilities. PlayStation, Xbox. Ooh. That's pretty cool. Blocks off fucking their vision's like a smoke wall. See, if you ever played it before, you know the buy menu's completely changed. Makes it a little bit more easy to understand, because before, like, you just kind of like buy bundles. You didn't really never bought stuff individually because it was just a lot easier. This makes it a lot easier to navigate, because like this Spectre's getting this and you're getting this. A lot more easy, a lot more thought out compared to before previous economy, like buy menu. Oh, look at the match history. I didn't know about that one. That's sweet. What is that facial expression, though? But that is the Season 1 launch trailer. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Highlights everything that is new and hopefully drags more players in, which I'm hoping for, because this game deserves a second chance. Out of look at FPS games, like indie titles that I've played in terms of competitive as well, this game deserves the most second chances ever, because it's a unique gameplay style that's never been done before, and it's got passionate developers behind it as well. Obviously, I don't know them personally, but the fact that they've never given up and they've continually pushed through and made improvements all since launch, when they saw the player base continually dwindling down, just shows you that they're very passionate about this and they do deserve a second chance. A nice reference game to talk about in compared to Spectre Divide is the finals. If you don't know the finals, it's a very like destructible battle royale, team objective competitive environment type thing. It's not really battle royale, it's more of a competitive, and that's in its own little market, and it's continually done well. Obviously, it had a huge hype, huge launch, and then just went lost 90% of its players, but it remained consistent with updates, content, and the player base steadily increasing over time as well after that initial drop off, which is really good, and that's something Spectre Divide can do if it's given a second chance.
Hit me, boy.
As you've seen by the gameplay, it is very nice and crispy. You hit some really good clips. The same satisfaction you get from playing Valorant and Counter-Strike when you hit some nice one-taps or some flicks, and then you get some nice sprays as well. So honestly, I do hope this game does succeed. I'll definitely be playing it on launch, and I really hope that you do give it a go. If not, fucking understandable, dude. You free will, mate. Free will to go download this game and give it a go. I think it's like one of those games, if you don't play, you're going to like look back and like, oh damn, I really wish I did play that because now it's gone, you know? You should see it in that kind of light, but also at the same time, it's your choice. And I'm not paid or sponsored or anything like that from this company or this game, because I simply just wish to see this kind of market succeed, because games like this really make me enjoy gaming a bit more, because Counter-Strike and Valorant, or Counter-Strike in particular, has always been at the top. It's always been the best FPS game of all time, and I'm pretty sure it will remain to be the GOAT of all time, but there's always good like variations of that kind of Counter-Strike formula, and this is a clear example of one, and I think it does it very well. But I'm going to stop yapping now. It launches on the 25th, which is tomorrow. So if you want to give it a go, give it a go. The gig, it's like 10 gigs or something like that. So it's not really crazy, unless you have fucking ADSL Australian internet, then start downloading overnight, mate. But thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And you might see some Spectre Divide highlights in the future.